Hello everyone, this is Mpho Nenweli. Do you know that a business that does not define its value proposition at the start has got more than 90% chance of failing within the very first year of its existence? This is the Succeed in Business podcast. This podcast will bring the best in you. Failure is inspiration. Success is within your reach. Do not give up. Today's podcast will be focusing on a very interesting topic called how to formulate a value proposition for your startup or your small business. The podcast will look at defining a value proposition, outlining the importance of having a value proposition at the startup phase. It will also go through the various steps that one has to follow when formulating a value proposition for a startup. I will also outline the benefits of having a value proposition at the beginning phase of your small business. I would like to define the value proposition. A value proposition is a concise statement of the business which explains the benefits of a particular product or service to the target audience. And the target audience here, I mean the customers. So when you are formulating a value proposition, you want to show to the customer these are the benefits that they are going to derive from buying your product or your service that you will be offering to them. The value proposition is quite a very important thing to have from the start, because if you start operating a business without it, it's almost like piloting a ship without a rudder, meaning that the ship is just going anywhere and it can end up in any place. So for your business to succeed, you need to conceptualize it appropriately in the beginning. Look thoroughly into the competitors in the market and define your value proposition. What is it that is of value that you are offering in the form of a product or a service? So the value proposition is very critical to be formulated right at the start of the business. It clarifies your mind. It creates a sense of focus and a sense of direction. It must be clear and simple so that the customer can be able to understand it and comprehend it. The value proposition must also show advantages of the product or the service over the competitors. The issue is you thoroughly have to look at the available products that are competing with yours. For example, if you want to introduce a new sneaker brand, you must know that there are a lot of brands that are already available, and that is your Puma, your Nike, your Adidas, your Fila, and you also have Batu, you have Modern Batata. There's quite a lot of variety in the market, but you have to decide what is it that makes yours stand out. Why must your customer buy your product, your sneaker, over those of the competitors? If you're starting a t-shirt and hoodie brand, what is it that makes it different from a person just buying an ordinary t-shirt from Pep or Ackermans or any of the wholesalers? So it is important to differentiate yourself from the market. And it is important to find a unique value offering. You have to be unique. If you are bringing in a clothing brand, you might probably take advantage of our heritage, and that is the Ndebele heritage, Venda heritage, Tswana, Sotho heritage, Xhosa, and you can borrow in some uniqueness there, something that you can take from the clothing that is worn by the different tribes in South Africa and come up with something unique that doesn't exist in the market, so that you can be differentiated and people can see the value of buying your product over that of the competitors. The value proposition also must be memorable. Um, it must be something that the customer will always remember and can be proud of. They can be able to say, I bought this sneaker because it resonates with me, or it resonates with my culture, or it makes me a proud African. You need also to uh, explain how the offer is different from the alternatives, from that of the competitors around. So the value offering must be unique, must be different, and it must be well thought through. You need to really have an in-depth research in terms of the product that you're going to offer into the market and how different it is going to be. And you can put together a value proposition in the form of an image. It can also in the form of a video that explains your product or your service, and how unique it is, and how does it meet the customer's needs and expectations. The other things that one needs to consider when formulating a value proposition is the issue of the best value. And by this best value of the product or the service, I mean the comparison between the quality to the price. Are you offering good quality at a reasonable price in comparison with that of the competitors? For example, if you're coming with a sneaker brand, you might say, I am offering a beautiful African design brand which draws from our heritage, but it is of good quality. This is pure leather that is going to last you a minimum of 3 years if you wear it and use it frequently. The other thing also is the issue of best quality of the product or the service. So in this context, we're talking about reputation. If we're talking about quality, if it's not of good quality, then it compromises the reputation and the image. That's why at some point in time, the Chinese products were used to be called Feng Kong, because they would just last a very short period of time and the quality was not good. But over the time now, we know Chinese products are as good as any other products in the world. So what quality are you offering? Are you going to offer a sneaker brand or a t-shirt that is durable, that can be worn frequently and last? You need to be able to point out what is the extent of the quality that you want to have. That will help build your reputation in the market. Are you also going to offer a brand or a service that targets the ordinary person, or is this a luxurious brand? If you're offering a sneaker brand that is luxurious, you might find that there are competitors in the market that have sneaker brands that go for crazy prices, such as 30,000 rands. That is your Gucci brands, um, your Giorgio Armani, your Air Jordan. They can go for quite very serious amounts. They target the upper end of the market for people with a lot of money that don't want to wear what the ordinary person on the street is wearing. So it's about luxury, offering luxury, and ensuring that it's for the people who want to have the status and the prestige in society. So you have to decide in the beginning, is your brand for the ordinary person? Are you going to be offering clothes that are for 300 rands, 200 rands sneaker, or you're going to offer a brand that is for 3,000 rands and above, targeting people who are in the middle class? So you need to decide. Sometimes if you just offer something from the cheap to the expensive, you dilute the brand. People don't know either it's a luxury brand or is it a brand for the ordinary person on the street. The other thing also is to decide, is your product or service a must-have? Is it a necessity? So if it's a must-have, it can be something that can be used, for example, as a PPE, personal protective equipment or clothing that is used when people are doing dangerous work in the form of boots or overalls or hard hats. So are these must-have? Or it can also be something that is a staple food that people eat on a daily basis, that you can say this is nutritious. It replaces your normal maize meal, which is very less nutritious. Maybe you're coming up with a form of mabele, which is mixed maybe with some herbal remedies such as moringa, and you say this one is going to be good for people with health problems and things such as diabetes and high blood pressure. So you're coming up with a unique product where you say, I'm bringing in mabele and then I'm combining it with some herbs so that when you cook, this thing addresses a lot of other health problems, your issues of digestive system being functioning properly because of the fiber in the mabele, and then the herbs also offering a lot of health benefits. It is also important to outline the significance of having a value proposition. A value proposition serves as to identify and assess, uh, multiple benefits and needs of the customer or the client, and how your unique product offering is going to address those needs and expectations, and benefits, providing benefits to the client so that they can see that there's value for money. They can spend money on your product and they will feel satisfied. It also serves to assess how well the product uh, can satisfy people's expectations, uh, and how it can also address their unique needs, um, looking at what are the things that they require. It is also a key component of the company's sales and marketing strategy. If you have got a well outlined value proposition, it is easier for your sales team to formulate a sales strategy. For example, if you've got a sneaker brand that is made of leather, that is durable, it's of high quality, and it's ordered for the people of class, your team that are going to be formulating a marketing strategy can easily determine or outline a marketing plan and messaging that is accurate, targeted to the people. They can also go to the platforms or social media platforms where the type of your customers are found, and they can go also to the areas where your potential customers reside. So that is very important. Once you have defined the value proposition, it's easier to also inform the people who are producing the product that they know this is a high quality product. It's going to be expensive, and it targets people who are fussy, that have got money and that want it for the prestige. At the same time, the marketing and sales team can also know how to package the messaging and make sure that they sell the product to the right people. There are a variety, couple of steps that one has to undertake when formulating a unique value proposition for a small business or a startup. And one of those steps, the first one, is to understand the value. What value are you offering? In this context, it is important to ask yourself as a small business owner, what is the problem that your service or product is trying to solve in the market? What are you solving? What challenge are you solving? And then also you have to determine how big is the probability of the problem that you are trying to solve to occur. Is it a big problem? If it's a problem that affects only 1,000 people and you want to make a product that is going to generate millions, that's not going to be possible. So you should understand the amount of people encountering the problem that you are trying to solve. That also offers you the scale at which your product can be able to perform. that is the amount of potential clients that you're going to have. So it's determined by the amount of people with that particular problem that you're trying to solve. So how big is the probability of the problem occurring? And also you need to understand uh, which priority in the clients in terms of the problem are you trying to address? What are their priorities? Uh, they might have an array of problems, but they may not be able to prioritize them the same. So you have to choose the one that is of high priority and come up or formulate a value proposition in the form of a product, um, or in the form of a service offering that is unique and good for the clients that you have identified. You also have to determine, are there any existing solutions for the problem that you're trying to solve? Uh, if yes, how are those solutions looking? Are they good? Are they of poor value, of poor quality? Are they maybe of higher price? um, you need to do a proper assessment of the environment in which your business is going to operate, or in which your product offering is going to be, to be given to potential customers. Who are you offering this particular product to? You need to determine, is it young people? Is it old people? Is it people who are working in the mines, or is that people who work in the offices? What product are you offering and the problem it is addressing, and who are the people that you think it is helping to address those particular problems that you have identified. The second step will be to define the value proposition. And here you have to identify the solution that you are going to be offering to address the problems that you have identified that your potential customers have. And this is in the context of their needs and benefits. And the key issue there in this particular step is to ask yourself a couple of questions. And one of those is to say, how does the solution or the product or service offering that you're bringing overcome the problem it is aiming to solve? Does the solution bring an option that is innovative? Is it an innovative approach that is not existing at the moment? Does the solution offer an innovative technology or an innovative product? So you need to identify the solution that the enterprise is bringing to address the problem that you have identified in the context of the needs of the customers and the benefits that they can derive from your product or service. In terms of the benefits, it is important to ask yourself a few questions like, does the solution meet the customer's expectations, their desires, and their dreams? Does it save them money or time? Does it imitate or outperform existing solutions that are offered by your competitors in the market? Does it make life or the job of your potential client easier? Does it affect the customer's reputation? You need to ask yourself those questions in order to understand the benefits that your product or service offering is going to have on potential customers. So it is important to thoroughly look through and read a little bit on the market that you want to offer a particular product or service, and determine who are the potential customers, how many are they, what is the problem that they have which you are trying to solve, and you can be able to say, I'm offering an innovative product or solution that can make their life easier, that can make things better. They can have a lot of benefits from the product that you're going to be giving them in your own small business. So in terms of the needs, what you need to look at when you are formulating the value proposition is to ask yourself also a few questions. And these questions include the following. Does the solution that you are offering reduce customers' fears or risks? The other question also is, does it make customers feel better in terms of the quality of life? Is it a shoe that you're offering that is comfortable, that is good for both running and walking? Is it a shoe that can be used to wear with formal clothes and casual clothes? What is it that you are doing to make your customer feel better in terms of their product and service offering that you're giving in your small or startup business? Does the solution that you are proposing address the negative social consequences that your potential customers may be encountering? Does it fix underperforming solutions that are already available? It may be, for example, maybe you're coming up with a sneaker brand that is targeted at people who are in the, you know, who run marathons, who are in sports, and then maybe the shoes that they wear are not very good and comfortable, and you're coming up with a brand that you say it will perform better, it will enable them to run longer distances without their feet getting sore, and it's got health benefits that they can derive. So you need to also determine, does the service offering or product that you're providing address challenges that your customers have? It is important to be very clear on those things. The third step on the formulation of the value proposition is to determine the strength of the value proposition. You need to assess how strong is the value proposition. And this is done by reviewing the value proposition from the customer's perspective, using what we call the framework, which is simplified as the 4 C's. And the 4 C's here, it simply means crucial, compelling, credible, and concrete. You need to sit down and assess your value or proposition quite very thoroughly. Scrutinize it and involve other people that can also give opinions. It can be people that have been trading in the space, people who are good in sales and marketing, and people who are good in manufacturing of a product that you want to offer. And you sit down and ask them, is the product that I am offering or service, is it crucial? Is it something needed in the market? Or is just some form of vanity, something that doesn't add much value? Is it compelling? Is it going to draw attention of potential clients? Are they going to feel it's something they can put their hard-earned money on? Is it credible in the form of its quality, where it is produced? Is it produced under conditions where people are being ill-treated, slavery type of conditions, where people are not empowered, in cases where there's a lot of waste and environmental damage? You have to determine that credibility so that people can see what they are buying is contributing positively to their own life and sometimes to the livelihood of other people and the environment at large. Is it concrete? The product and service offering that you're going to put into the market, is it concrete? Is it something tangible? Is it something that is probably an idea in your mind which is not going to translate into something tangible, something concrete, something that clients or potential customers can feel it's valuable? The fourth step in the formulation of the value proposition is continuous refinement of the value proposition. You need to understand there's always going to be a need to continuously modify your value proposition in order to reach out to better to customers, to also lure more newer customers. It is important to know that customer needs evolve over time. Needs of customers change, and the only constant in life and in business is change itself. So the value proposition needs to be continuously refined and continuously checked and tested on the potential customer base to see, is this that something that resonates? Is this something that people can put their hard-earned money and feel that they're benefiting in the process? You need to be able to continuously improve yourself, continuously come up with newer products, continuously improve even the product that you're offering and the service over time, because new competitors will emerge with new ideas that are more innovative. You need to be on top of your toes in terms of ensuring that you don't lose customers by becoming irrelevant over time. I would want to list a few disadvantages of not sitting down and thinking through the value proposition of your small business at the beginning. If you start a business without a value proposition, it's the same as um, having a ship that is sailing without a compass. That simply means it doesn't know where it is going, and it will just end up almost anywhere. Wherever the wind carries it, that's where it goes. That's quite not a very good thing to do, to use minimal resources and time to do things that you're not very clear about, because that has got a very serious implication on the potential of your business failing within less than 12 months, because you'll be offering something that is not of any value. It is important to sit down and think thoroughly about the value that you are bringing to the business space. If you don't have a value proposition, you will struggle to stand out, because you will be just like any other person out there who's trying to do something without having any clue or understanding about what is it that they're doing. You will also lose potential customers, because they will not know what is the benefit of your product or your service, what makes it unique, and why must not they not buy what they're used to buy and buy yours and choose yours. You need to come up with something compelling, a story to tell, a valuable product or service that people can feel this is worth their money. Uh, you will not be competitive enough if you don't understand what is your value proposition. What is it that is unique, that is valuable, that you are offering to your clients or potential customers. You will also lack the business focus. You may end up doing too many things or selling too many products, only to find that sometimes if you were to think thoroughly and sell only one product, it can make you successful. I'll give an example. Let's say you want to start a sneaker brand. You might go there and find that for you to buy a sneaker brand, you need to go to China and uh, talk to people who will potentially assist you to design the shoe, and they can also manufacture it for you at a lower cost compared to doing it by yourself. So if you don't know what you want to do, they will literally sell you anything. And the people on the other side, they are interested in the amount of money they are making, not necessarily your success or failure. If you don't know what you're buying on the other side, you are likely to buy the wrong things, and you may buy the wrong sizes of the sneaker that you want to sell. You may also not know the difference between having to buy sneakers for males and sneakers for females, or coming up simply with one sneaker that is unisex that everybody can wear. The other thing also, you might find that if you're importing your sneaker, they need a minimum order quantity of 1,000. And that simply means you might find that to buy only one pair, you have to spend almost close to R500,000 to bring it in South Africa, including taxes and shipping. So if you go and buy 2, 3 different types of sneakers, different colors, it gets very complicated. But if you were to think thoroughly, you might find that starting maybe with only one shoe might be the best thing to do. And talking to the people who have done things, who have failed in the process, and who have learned a lot of valuable lessons to guide you in terms of the colors that you need to buy on the sneaker, the type of design that can be appealing to the customers, the sizes that you need to buy, which sell, because not all sizes sell very well. So you need to be sure about what you're doing, because you can do a lot of harm than good. So doing a value proposition is quite very critical, because if you don't do that, you don't determine the uniqueness or the value that you're bringing, you will be shooting in the dark and you'll waste a lot of resources, including time and money. You will also fail to communicate the unique offering that you are bringing to the market because you don't know it yourself. You will also fail to look different from your competitors because you'll just be doing just another person who's selling some sneakers, and people can go to China City and buy your fake sneakers of Adidas and Puma. Why must they buy yours at 1,000 or 1,500? Whilst they can go to the informal markets and buy the same type of thing at a lower cost. There's a lot of competition out there. You need to stand out. You need to be different. You need to be unique. You need to come up with a compelling selling point. You will also find it very hard to persuade your customers if you don't have something unique to tell them. To tell them, this is what you'll benefit from buying my product or service. You will also ultimately have poor sales, and business growth will also be not there or very slow, to the point that after a year or two, you will be another statistic of people who start small businesses and fail. If you don't formulate a good, unique value proposition, you will find it very hard to formulate a unique or brand identity. You will have no direction. You will also start focusing on petty things like futures on your sneaker to say, okay, this sneaker, this strings are good, or this color is beautiful, but you're not explaining the benefits of the sneaker to the potential client, or the benefit of your t-shirt or hoodie that you are selling, and say, okay, this is one is made from bamboo. It's very nice on your body. It's good when it's hot. It's not sticky, and it's very nice and soft. It's tender on your skin. So it's very important to know exactly what is it that you are selling, because you will also not be able to determine what is it that you need to continuously improve if you don't know what is it that you're offering to the market. And then finally, what are the things that you need to do if you are formulating a value proposition and you're not very clear about what to do? You might need to do a research, and that can require some funds, and that means hiring of a company that can do some market research for you. It is worth it because you will determine what is it that you can offer, how are you going to market it, what platform are you going to use. It is better to spend money upfront than to lose a lot of money trying to come up with a business and making changes as you go. It can be very expensive process. It can be easier if you get people to do a research for you. They come up with a research, they can scan the environment, tell you what are the competitive brands, what is it that you can offer, and how can you package it, and how can you sell it. That's very important research. You can also attend industry events where you can meet people who are like-minded or doing similar stuff. You can start engaging with some of them, ask questions, and look for mentors within that particular space that can help you formulate a compelling business proposition. Networking events will be very important to help in the formulating of the value proposition. You can also join groups which are there online on social media where you can, niche forums. You can also, throw in ideas there and find out if there are people who can coach you or assist you. Um, it is important to know that the value proposition can determine if your business has got a sense of direction or not. If your business can have a compelling product or service that can make it grow and last and create employment opportunities and generate a proper profit. It's not very good to only just rely on luck and just do things in the dark without having any sense of understanding or any sense of research. Invest in the beginning, get the research done, have a value proposition, design something, test it in the market before you go and acquire or import a whole ton of stuff that will come and sit and not sell. So it is important to know that you need to come up with something compelling. The competition out there is intense. There's almost a ton of things that are being sold, in particular clothes, electronics. So if you're coming with something, just know that you're not alone. So rather scan the environment, determine how valuable your product is or your service is, and identify a niche and then target that niche in terms of marketing your product and make sure that your business is a success. Lastly, I would want to point out that this is the Succeed in Business podcast. This podcast will bring the best in you. Failure is inspiration. Success is within your reach. Do not give up.